Hey guys, Mr. Thibodeau here. So, I'm going to go over the work for Lesson 7, last of the week. Alright, Lesson 7 here, I have to be careful with because if I'm not careful, I will overload you with too much stuff. I get really interested in this stuff. First off, mental math, problem solving, good places to start. New concept. Okay, I'm going to try really hard not to overload you here and just focus with what they want you to have here. So imagine just a blank, empty world with absolutely nothing in any direction. Okay, just everything is white or everything is black. When we're talking about a two-dimensional space, like a flat nothing, you can't go up or down, you're just in that one single area, we call that a plane. Okay, so a plane is a two-dimensional world, and if you worked with wood cutting, you'll know about a planer, and that's where it cuts something so it's just a completely flat, even surface. Okay, so and that is coming from the same word, same concept. Two-dimensional. I wanted to do it. Two-dimensional world. Okay, infinite. Now, there's no concept of going over, there's no concept of going under. If it looks like they are connecting, it means that they go through each other. Okay, they share a space, a point. This is one of the basic tenets of geometry, which we'll just touch on. We begin with a point. A point is your very basic concept. Okay? It is any specific point in the area. It's just one little bit. That's it. It is just that tiny, tiny thing. It takes up no more space than what it says. Okay? It is not infinite. It is super finite. A line, however, has an infinite amount of points because a line goes forever in both ways. Okay? Infinity. Mario Kart 8. Goes forever in both directions. Infinite points. Okay? There is a point here, and 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 a point here. There's infinite points on this line. Okay? Even if you just did a point here and a point here, I could cut that point in half and draw a point there. And then I could cut this point in half and draw a point there. And then I could cut that point in half and then that point in half. Every little bit on the line goes on infinitely. Okay? There's any tiny point here. And these arrows mean they continue on forever. When we talk about this, we'll talk about it as lines A and B. And we just name 2 points that we know. And we'll say A, B, and we'll do line AB. So this is the notation that we use. If we're talking about a ray where it has an endpoint or an origin and then goes on forever, okay, we talk about that as AB, like that. If it is a line segment where it does not go on forever, we just talk about it as AB. These here, A and B, those are variables. They could be anything. It could be x, y, it could be 3 and 2, it could be anything at all. We're just saying A and B, okay, to make our lives simple. This segment, AB, can also be segment BA. if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter which order you do it in. Okay, a segment has a specific length. We can refer to it as the measure of the segment, which we'll do the MAV. Okay, so I'll let you go through all of that. I don't want to get I don't need to complicate that for you. We talked about a plane again. Any point they intersect. So M is on both A and B and on line C and D. Okay. These figures are called parallel. Parallel lines never touch. Okay. Every line on your graph paper that is horizontal are parallel, right? They will never, if they went on forever on both directions, they would never ever touch. Now, if I drew lines like this and this, now they don't currently touch. But remember, lines go on forever. These lines are not parallel because if I continued to draw them, they would touch. Okay? So, not parallel. Or not, and then the parallel lines are, oh, you can't see. Parallel lines are just two lines, long lines. You can see it here. Okay? Perpendicular, so this is also not perpendicular. Perpendicular lines are perfectly touch. Every single square in your graph paper is a perpendicular line. They touch perfectly with 90 degrees. If you were to measure this out, the angle here is 90 degrees on each side. Okay? We write that as mn square pq. Okay? Knowing perpendicular and knowing parallel is important. Okay? This comes up all the way through high school. It's also stuff you use in architecture, in engineering. This is stuff I use in my home when I was trying to do different wood cutting projects. Okay. Now, an angle is formed when you have two lines that intersect, and you're looking at the rays. You know, the specific measurement in between those two lines. Okay, and we call this the angle. Now, M is the vertex. The vertex is the center point of an angle. Okay. We will also use this symbol to mean angle. So when we're talking about the angle, we might say angle DMB. M is the vertex, it's in the middle. D and B are both on the sides. It is comprised of DM and BM, or MB, MD. Doesn't matter the order, right? They're all rays, so technically those lines are above them. If there's no worry about confusion, we'll sometimes see mathematicians will get lazy. I will get lazy. It is okay to just say angle M. All right. However, angle M gets really confusing if I have a point M and then there are different lines here. That's point M. Which angle is M talking about? So here's where I'd have to say D, B, and C I would say there's angle CMD, which is different than angle DMB. But we'll get into that later. The main thing you need to really work at is right angles, acute angles, straight angles, and obtuse angles. Okay? Obtuse are the fat ones, acute ones are the skinny ones, the thin, narrow ones. Okay? Okay. Skinny is acute, obtuse is big and wide. Straight, I don't think you'll have any problems with that. Right angles are the 90-degree ones. I don't think you'll have any problem with that. Let's go ahead and put those into your notes, though. Okay. So, right angle, acute, a straight angle, and then obtuse. Okay. And then, of course, technically, all of those go on forever in every direction. So follow through the rest of this and do the practice set. And for your actual work for today, I don't want you to do too much. I think you've been working hard. This is early days still. So the written practice today is going to be 12 through 16 even, and then 24 through 30, and that's it. Okay? Not a lot of problems. So hopefully that's okay with y'all. And yeah, that is the work. Have a good one.